Hello, online crew, and welcome to today's live where I want to share with you some thoughts and some discussion around something that's really helped me with the growth that I've had and what I've been able to achieve in a relatively short amount of time in the scheme of things, considering social media is not my background, attraction marketing is not my background, social selling is not my background, the corporate world was. So, why is it that I've been able to achieve some of the things that I've been able to achieve? That there's lots of things, but there is one important thing that I did, and I want to share that with you. And I want to bring in a couple of guests in a minute that they can share their perspective. So I don't want you to take this just from my mouth. I want you to hear from others about how important this is as well. Before I get into that, I just want to share with you on Clubhouse, we had a great discussion regarding the importance in this industry of you attending events and being connected and stuff like that. Like, I'd highly recommend you catch the replay of that. For those of you that are in my coaching community, you absolutely must watch the replay of the training I did not long ago regarding Facebook and Instagram stories and some creative ideas. So I did a practical training. I shared my phone on the screen. I walked you through 6 different creative ways to create stories to promote your products on social media. And they're ways that not many people know how to do. And it's just really cool. And everyone loved it. So if you're a coaching community member, you must go and catch that training that I did not long ago. Okay. I just want to plant the seed. If you are live with me tomorrow, it will actually be 2 hours earlier than when I'm normally live, because I'm hosting a webinar and got other calls tomorrow. So I will be live a lot earlier tomorrow if you are able to join me. So if you're here with us live, let me know so we can give you a shout out. And I'll bring on my guests in a minute. They're sitting in the wings. So I'll bring them in just in a sec. I've just got to turn off those dings. My email in the background is going crazy. But what I want to share with you, and I would love your perspective of this and your thoughts about whether you've gone down this track before or not. But something that I've done that's definitely sped up my results is following people that have had the success that I want. So what I did when I first went online is I did a lot of research because I struggled. I really struggled. I was doing it the traditional way and I got ghosted. I got hurt. I approached people in the corporate world that didn't really understand this kind of industry or wanted to understand, and that hurt. And, when you get hurt and offended and put down, enough times, it's like, okay, I'm going to find another way. So that's when I decided to explore this, world of online marketing and digital marketing and building my business online, etc. But I had no idea what I was doing. And I'm sure many of you can agree that when you learn social media with building your business online, it's a minefield. It's crazy. There's just so much to learn. And once you think you got one thing, then something else comes along, and then there's Reels, and there's TikTok, and there's content creation, and there's building an audience, and there's building influence, and there's getting organized, just yourself, all that kind of stuff. There's so much to know. So I started doing research and following people that had the success that I was looking for. And it all led back to kind of one thing that they all did. So I did it too. And what I'm talking about is investing in mentorship. Now, I know a lot of you will probably go, oh, yeah, when you say a comment like that, but there is no way I would have been able to achieve what I have in my business or everything I have online or learned all the skills that I have if I hadn't done that. It's absolutely critical. If you already knew all the answers, you'd already be successful. So if you're not already successful, there's something, some skills, some guidance, some organization, some mental stuff, some lack of belief. There's something that you need to learn, and sometimes you need a good kick up the behind. With love is what I do. Try to do. So what I want to share with you is like the importance of investing in mentorship. And I know a lot of people in this industry, they just won't do it for one reason or another. And most of it is financial. But here's what I hear a lot of people say. When I earn more money in my business, I'll go and get some mentorship. I'll go and pay for that. I'll go invest in that course. I'll go invest in, that coaching or, whatever it is. that's not when you need it. You need it now. You need it to get the success. You can't say, oh, I'll invest in that. It's like saying, I'll be happy when I lose more weight. Yeah, it might help, but happiness comes from within. You can be the skinniest person on the planet and be really unhappy. I hope you understand where I'm coming from with that. I hear a lot of people say, oh, when I have more success in my business, I'll invest in that. That's not when you need it. You need it to get successful. So that's my perspective on it. I have invested, it might scare some of you, but I've invested tens of thousands of dollars, not only in mentorship, but in traveling to events, to mentorship, workshops and things like that. Have any of you done that? Have any of you invested in training and mentorship and it has made a difference? So what I want to do with today's live is, I know that to be true because that's my journey. That's what I've lived. That's what I've breathed. That's what it's helped me. But I have a good work ethic and I did the work. There's the catch. If you're not going to do the work, nothing's really going to help you. But so it does come down to you at the end of the day. But I did the work. I took the guidance. I invested and it's paid off. And I want to bring a couple of people on the screen. They're hiding in the wings here listening to me, who have invested in mentorship with me. They know the value of mentorship, and I just want you to hear from them what the journey has been like with mentorship. So let's hear from them first, and then I'll share with you the reason why we're talking about this today. So one, I'm going to bring in Miss Laurie Endres, and then I'm going to bring in Miss Beth Frederick. These two ladies you might be familiar. Say hello to ladies. You might be familiar with them in my community. And the reason for that is they are now part of my online crew concierge team, which means that they help me in my community. Now, how did they get to that position? They got to that position because they were hungry to learn and they kept showing up and they were really consistent and they were really helpful to me in my communities without me asking. Just showing up, answering questions, being, the helpful people that they are. And they've also both gone through my VIP mentorship program and are still in that program and have been for a number of years. So they are not the people that I started working with at all, either of them. I don't know if they recognize that as much as I do, but, just a little bit. Like Laurie was just a pain in the ass, negative about everything. Just didn't think she had any qualities to give anybody. Who's going to listen to me? I was a terrible manager and I was this and I would anyway. And then, Beth, obviously the growth. Anyway, I want you guys to share what being in mentorship, having that guidance, having somebody that gives you a loving kick up the bum as well, or just to give you ideas, things that you wouldn't have thought of, as somebody's that had a little bit more success than you. How has it helped you in your business? How has it helped you grow? How has it helped you as an individual? So who wants to go first?
Sure. I'll go.
Laurie's going. Okay.
Beth, you're always first. I'm going to go first this time. So, oh my gosh. We've talked about this, a few times in the past, but just because I know we have a lot of new people in the community and whatever, just real quick, my backstory. I spent 26 years in the medical field, working in lab settings, basically. And I was a good employee. Okay. I mean, I showed up every day. I was reliable. I did good work. I was very good at what I did. And then 2020 hit, and my daughter and my daughter-in-law were both pregnant at the time, and it was just a good time to walk away. So I did, but I knew that I had to do something else. And, like everybody else, see all this stuff on Facebook and whatever. It's like, make money and stay home. And so I did. I had absolutely zero clue what I was doing. But I thought, if they can do it, I can do it, right? So I jumped in. First year and a half was an absolute nightmare. It was a disaster. But in the process of that, I wound up finding Helen in her social media strategy. So I started following her there. And I want to say it was your first VIP group when you first decided to do it that I jumped in. I'm still here. And so what I have learned for myself is, and I have to say at this point, yes, I've had success in my business. Yes, I'm making a monthly income from my business, but nowhere near where I want to be. But the mentorship that I've gotten has fixed all of the stuff ahead of that first. Okay, so I didn't realize it, but I guess at the beginning I was a negative Nelly, and I thought I was the most positive person because I was compared to my family. So I was a bad manager, just all of that stuff. And so for me, and I've said this a couple of times, Helen has changed my life. She has impacted my life, my personal life, my relationships with my family and my finances, and just all of that outside of business has absolutely changed my life for the better. But I did the work. Sometimes I did the work, kicking and screaming. And I have to be honest, there have been moments over the last probably 4 years, I'm guessing, that it's been a love-hate relationship. Just because, and not because of Helen, but because of me. I mean, anybody that's around here in the community for 2 seconds, I am the hot mess. And, that's just kind of who I am. But I'm growing out of that. And I feel like I have changed so much in that I do have a voice. I do know what I'm doing. I'm a pretty smart gal for 61 years old. And some of the things that I have learned just on social media and how to use this freaking computer. And, I'm not the Canva queen that Beth is, but I can create some pretty cool stuff in Canva. And I don't know that I would have ever had the guts, I think, to step out into that because I was always so afraid of failing. And I think that's why I was such a good employee, because I learned my job and I did my job and I went home and I got paid. Well, when you decide to be an entrepreneur, when you decide to jump out on your own, you don't get that. It's fail forward till you figure it out. And unless you've got the mental toughness to do that, that I think that's why a lot of people walk away from it. And over the last 4 years, that mental toughness has gotten some muscle for me. Mm-hmm. So, and I will tell you, I didn't have the money when I started. Absolutely did not have the money. Now, Mike and I have the kind of relationship where, I basically tell him what I'm going to do, and he goes, okay. And I know a lot of people don't have that kind of relationship, but I made it work, right? I backed off some other things. And if I recall, there were times when Helen made the phone call and said, hey, that didn't go through this month. And I'd have to adjust, right, and get it. But I wouldn't change a thing. I would not change one thing about it. So I highly recommend it. Figure it out. Sell some stuff. Back off some apps that you're paying for that you maybe don't use all that much. Tell your husband to work overtime. I don't know. But figure it out. Figure out how you can pay for it, and then plan on showing up and making sure that you're getting absolutely every ounce of what there is to learn from the money that you spent. That would be my suggestion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And, my journey with mentorship is getting everything out of it that I can, while I'm in that situation and have that opportunity, because otherwise it's just wasted. And there's nothing worse getting to the end of a time frame and going, I didn't work hard enough.
Yep.
I didn't pivot quick enough. And then you start sort of kicking yourself. So the opportunities are there, but you still got to do the work. But if you want the guidance, the support, the accountability, the guidance with a roadmap, those kind of things, everything is there for the taking. You've just got to go and make it happen. And having that accountability sometimes, because the hard part about being an entrepreneur versus being an employee, it's much easier being an employee because you have to show up. Otherwise, you're going to get fired.
Yep.
It's just as simple as that. You rely on that paycheck, and you know that you have to show up and do your job description. And if you don't, or you do it really badly, like you sit at your computer all day when you're meant to be working, you're going to get fired. When it comes to being an entrepreneur, you're only letting yourself down. You're not letting a boss down or a team down or anything like that. And unfortunately, most people are quite happy to let themselves down, not consciously. But that's that's basically what you do at the end of the day when you don't sort of follow through, you don't show up for your business. And some people just, if you're that kind of person that needs the push, that needs the accountability, that needs the roadmap, that needs, somebody to answer your questions and guide you along the way, then mentorship is something that you absolutely need. And you shouldn't ever balk at the cost of that, because it's actually probably more expensive for you not to.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And, I kind of compare it as when you decide to become an entrepreneur, okay, and you're going to do it on your own, you decide not to do the mentorship or whatever that is, and you're sitting at your computer and it's like, well, I don't feel like it today, or, I look like crap today, or whatever. It's the same thing as a spoiled child getting away with all of this bad behavior. And at the end of the day, they grow up to be this horrible adult, right? There's no discipline, there's no guidance, there's no, any of that. And that's basically what you can wind up being if you are trying to do this whole entrepreneurship on your own. Because I guarantee you, we do not parent ourselves the way we should.
Absolutely.
It's a rare occasion that you run into someone that is a really good parent to themselves.
Absolutely.
So,
good parent to everybody else, good supporter and motivator and encourager to everybody else.
Yep.
But when we look in the mirror, we let ourselves down. And, it's unfortunate. It's reality. Like, how many of you, that are listening or catching the replay know that you need more guidance, or that you're not motivated enough, or you need that accountability? Like, it's something that sort of you need. The reason that we're mentioning this, and I'll go to Beth in a moment, is only twice a year is when I open up my VIP mentorship program. And a lot of people actually continue on in the program. So there's not very many spots available. There's only a few spots available, and I only open up twice a year. It's a 6-month program. We follow a roadmap. We have monthly calls. You have weekly accountability videos. We've got a Facebook group separate for you guys. There's there's 2 calls a month. There's weekly videos. Like, I know it sounds a lot, but sometimes you just need that kind of discipline and focus to stay on the right path. Because I find a lot of people in this industry, they're really busy here, but they're not concentrating on the right content, or their brand's not right, or, all of that kind of stuff. Like, you waste months and months and months doing stuff on social media that doesn't really get you much traction. So sometimes you need that person to not only give you more training, but actually look at your business. Like, I'm doing one-on-one calls with them, with the VIPs at the moment, and looking at everyone's pages and going, oh, you're not quite concentrating on the right thing, or you need to do more of that, or what's going on here, or whatever, and that kind of, support. So if that's something that you need, or you just want to explore what that involves with my program, 6-month program, it opens up again on the 1st of April. So intake is now. So it's April for the coming 6 months. Just reach out to me personally, or put VIP mentorship in the comments, and I'll get that information through to you. So either reach out or just put VIP in the comments, and I can get that information through to you. So you can just have a look at what it involves. Okay. So Beth, can you share your journey in the mentorship program?
Okay, so this is, I'm coming up to the end of round 3 for me, of 6 months each. When I first started the mentorship program, I joined it to help me with my business and help me grow my business. And that's honestly what I thought I would just get out of it. Help in my business, help me grow my team, help me learn all the skills. I was wrong. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked. Just wait. I'm going to flip the switch. So all those things did happen. And those in the VIP, and Helen can attest to this, I was a crying mess.
Oh.
I would cry at the drop of a hat. I was so emotional. I still am emotional, but honestly, I was a mess. Every little thing that happened in my team, in my business, in my personal life, I cried.
She did.
I had no control over it. I took things on that weren't mine. I couldn't handle a lot of things. And being emotional isn't a bad thing, but we have to be able to control it and realize where it comes from. Don't laugh, Lori. You know, whether the limiting beliefs I had or whatever it is. So being really able to hone in on my emotional intelligence, learning and being self-aware of myself to start with, and then learning to be aware of others around me. And when you're building an online business, you have to be aware of those things, how you perceive things, how you communicate to others, and honestly, how I was communicating to myself. And over these last 3 stints of the mentorship program, things have changed drastically for me. Yes, I've learned the skills. I'm building a successful business. I've learned skills that I never dreamed of learning, techie skills. Who would have ever thought I would learn a Google Drive or email marketing, all the things. And of course, all those things helped me build the success of my business. But what I realized for me is this was a journey I needed to go on. This was, and I promise I won't cry. This was a personal development journey that I needed to go on. I had to work on me. I'm 66 years old, so you would think I would have that nailed down. But when I started this entrepreneurial journey, it was like no other. First, I had to discover me. So there's a saying that you all know, if it's to be, it's up to me. To get to where I needed to go, I had to go down a personal development journey, because Helen says it all the time. If you're not good, you won't do good.
Right.
So I have learned so much with my skills, with my organization, building a business. But for me, and not everyone might get this out of it, you know, you do get a portion of that, but you have to find your own path. I thought I was joining to build a business and stop struggling. And all that happened. But what happened for me was my personal development journey. And I can say with so much confidence now that I have developed into being a good leader, and still developing, because I don't think it's a destination. I think it's a journey.
Yeah.
I've learned to be stronger within myself, value myself more, develop more confidence, communication skills with myself and my team. I have been able to have that self-love that each and every one of us deserves. I didn't know how to do that before. And honestly, it started the first day of the mentorship program with Helen. It started off with her saying to me, you have to do something for yourself, Beth. What's it going to be? Now, okay, I'm going to choose walking 30 minutes a day. I don't like to exercise. And some of you may have heard this story before, but it's powerful, because I was thinking to myself, what's a dumb walk going to do for me? And how's that going to build my business? That's what I thought. But that 30-minute walk every day changed my whole life. And honestly, it isn't about the walk. I'm not going to cry, I promise. It was Helen's persistence that I needed to do something for me, something that I took on myself. And I have to tell you, it was life-changing. And again, it's not about the walk. It was about doing something for me and discovering me. And that's right there is how I have grown to be the leader I am, to be the entrepreneur I am, the communicator I am, growing in that emotional intelligence, having the confidence I'm developing, and just the list goes on. So I am so ever grateful to this program. I'm forever grateful to you, Helen. I'm a little biased with having Helen as a mentor, but find yourself a mentor, invest in yourself. I guarantee you that if you put in the work, because you absolutely have to do the work, your mentor doesn't do it for you, but Helen advises. She has the experience. She has the knowledge to guide me, to guide you, push you to do the hard things. Kick your butt.
Kick your butt.
And get you out of your comfort zone, because that's where you grow. I've done really hard things and scary things. but that's how I becoming the best version of me. This will help you to be good and to do good in your business. So I just want to thank you, Helen, for believing in me before I believed in myself. And honestly, I can say I believe in myself so much more, and I'm still continuing to do that. And I didn't cry all the way through this.
It was close, though.
It was. There was a couple of times.
Yeah, I've got to say, and those of you that have been around my community for a while, you'll know these ladies' faces. I'm so proud of them for the journey that they've been on with me. And it's not about me. It's about what they go and do with the tools that they're given. And something that we work on in the VIP mentorship is, some of you may have come across this in marketing circles, etc., is balancing the wheel. And though that wheel is, business, personal development, wealth, like your finances, your family, and, even your spirituality or what you believe in, or, your environment at home, your decluttering, like we work on all of it because that's what it actually takes to be successful. You can't have an unbalanced wheel. You can't be amazing in your business and have lots of dollars in the bank account and the family life is falling apart. You can't have it the other way either. You will never, ever have a successful family business when you got a lot of crap going on in your life. It's a whole holistic kind of look at your business and life and whatever. And we've got to work on all of it for you to be successful, because you actually have to earn the right to get a big check. You have to earn the right to, get a six-figure check. You have to be the person that can cope with that. And these ladies know the bigger the team, the more people you recruit, the more that's happening in your business, the bigger the problems, because the more personalities that come in and the more important leadership skills are, and doing things that you don't want to do and all that kind of stuff. So you have to get the success first, obviously, but leadership happens from word go. If you can't lead yourself, how the hell are you going to lead a team? If you can't sort your own crap out, if you can't get organized, if you're doing things on social media for 6 months a year and you've got no traction, someone's not advising you properly, like all of that, like the business, the leadership, the personal skills, what's going on for you, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of it does come down to organization and just managing life. And as entrepreneurs, a lot of people let life get in the way, and life will sort of dictate what happens rather than taking control. So you've got to get your control back. And as I said before, if you already knew everything you needed to know, you'd already have a lot more money in your bank account. So even for these two, if they don't have the amount of money in their bank account that they actually want, I don't have the amount of money. It's funny, when you get more, you just want more. You never arrive. Even when you get a good, decent amount of money in your bank account, you still want more. But to get more, you have to keep growing. You have to keep pushing yourself. You need somebody to tell you the things that you don't even see. And that's happened with these two as well. And I'll be honest, and I'll kick them up the bum, and it's going, well, hey, do you even recognize? And they're like, oh, I didn't realize that's kind of what I'm doing, but you're kind of right. Those kind of things. And I get the same from my mentors, and I get told off and I get kicked up the bum, but I welcome that, because that's growth. If you're not open to that, then you'll never grow into the person that you need to grow into to get the big check. Maybe some of you are doing this on the side and you've got other jobs, and your goal is to give up the other job and replace this income with that. You'll never get there unless you get really serious about balancing that wheel in all areas and taking it seriously. And when I say balance the wheel, this isn't the be all and end all. Like social media and all this kind of stuff, it can get totally exhausting. And I don't know if any of you feel exhausted by social media. You've got to be able to balance all of that to get the success that you want, but not let it burn you out, especially if you've got other jobs and responsibilities and stuff like that. So as I said before, I'm really proud of these ladies. That's why they keep showing up, because they're putting the work in. There are other people that could be on this screen, honestly, but they don't do the work. So they're not here, that have worked with me for a long time. These two have, and I'm very proud of them. And I'm just here to say, like, you choose your own path. You got to recognize what you need, but recognize what it is that you do need. And if you need a helping hand, my program may be something for you to work with for 6 months. Give it a go for 6 months. See how you go. As I said, a lot of people continue on. That's why there's only a few spots left. I only work with 10 people. I just don't have the time to give more people that kind of attention. And we have a separate VIP group where we can ask questions and get things reviewed on calls and all those kind of stuff. Like, it's a lot deeper level of mentorship than obviously in my coaching community as such. So as I said, if any of you would like more information on that, you would just like to explore how much it is, what it entails and all that kind of stuff, just either put VIP in the comments section or just send me a message in Messenger or something like that, or an email at helen@helenmartinonline.com and just say VIP info, please. And we'll get that information to you and you can assess. We start the next round on the 1st of April. So if there's somebody out there that needs that kind of support, you want to work with these crazy women here as well as myself, I'm sure they would love to embrace you as much as I would. So the door is open. It's just an opportunity. It only opens up twice a year, and that is now. So if that's something that you want to grab, just let me know so I can send you the information. Thank you, Laurie. Thank you, Beth. I appreciate you more than you know. I'm so proud of the journey that you've been on over the last few years and what you've achieved in your businesses. It never stops. No. There's always room to grow and build a bigger business. And with bigger businesses come bigger problems. So you continue to grow, through leadership and things like that. So the journey never really ends. But even my mentors that earn millions and millions and millions of dollars online, they have mentors that they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep learning. You never arrive, guys. So don't be one of those people that thinks, when I make more money in my business, I'll invest more or I'll get that help that I need. You need the help first to get the results, to speed up the results. Like, go and learn from somebody who already has the 6-figure check. That's all I'd say. Yep. Somebody that's in the industry doing what you're doing as well. Not somebody who's telling you what to do, but they're not actually growing their business anymore, because social media moves too fast. You've got to be in the industry to be able to teach what's working in the industry. Okay. So
I see Chrissy's got a couple of comments in there. I didn't know if you wanted to.
Yeah. Which ball can I drop? I want to cry. Why do you want to cry, Chrissy? 3 wonderful, beautiful, powerful women, and right back at you, Chrissy. We think the same about you. Absolutely. Cherie, thank you guys for sharing your stories. Thank you, Helen. This was great. The door's open, guys. If you want some help, if you want to work with us, like all of us, because these guys are involved in the program as well, just let us know. We're here to help, and that support is here. Yeah. So again, thank you, Laurie, and thank you, Beth, for coming on with me today. I didn't give them much notice, and they were like, yeah, sure. So really appreciate you, and hopefully we can see some of you in the next round of the VIP mentorship program. So thanks, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember, it's 2 hours earlier than today. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.